I'm at 5044 Dobbs Drive in Dayton, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that may be of concern to the buyer. This is a slab on grade ranch, and so the clean out here is in the center of the front yard. You can see that is out towards the road, and then this is up towards the front of the house there. And so you can see we are right in the middle, and then there is towards the driveway. So I'm going to try to go both directions on this line. I think that the clean out, this has been put here. You can see it's basically, it looks like they kind of broke into the side of the line. I don't know. It looks like a pretty clean out. And it looks like the bottom is PVC. And so we are able to, we're going to go upstream first and check out what's in the line. And it looks like this is all, it looks like this has been lined, and that's probably why that didn't look like a regular clean out. This looks like it's been lined probably to prevent roots. And that's probably why this clean out was put in here, to allow them to go in and get the put the liner in. You can see 4-inch. You can see the writing on the inside that indicates a liner, so you can identify it. And so there's a slight belly there. But we are going upstream back towards the house right now, and so we should come into where it switches over inside the house. That depends on if they lined back into the house or if they stopped at the connection. Okay, so here we go. We're into a small piece of leftover clay, and then a small section, and then it goes into cast iron. And now here is at 44 feet. Here it looks like a clean out. So just for the home buyer's information, I'm going to pause the video here, and I'm going to stop and get a locate to mark where this clean out is, and that way if they need access to the one up by the house, it does have a sweep on it, so it would force them to come out towards the street. But if it's it may be needed in the future for something, they'll know where it is. So I'm going to pause the video, and we're going to locate the exact spot. Okay, so it is marked up in the flower bed. It's not visible, but it is marked, and it may be just a hair forward or back of that spot, based off of it. As you can tell, I'm underneath it, and so that should be the spot, but it may be just a hair back towards the house from where it is marked because of the sweep, the way it comes in. And okay, now I do have a standoff on the camera to be able to center it, and it will not fit through this next connection. It must go down into a smaller one. So what I'll do is, after I finish inspecting downstream, I'll take that standoff off of the camera, and then we'll go back upstream, and that way we can try to get a look at that cast iron inside the house past about 44 feet. We'll try to remember that for when we go back upstream. But this all looks really good. Like I said, it has been lined, and so I didn't see any issues with it. I will mention in the report that it has been lined. See, and that may be what that other spot is. It's kind of maybe a thin spot in the liner that looks red like that. I'm not 100% sure, but now we're going to go back downstream. Going downstream, it is lined downstream also. Okay. Looks like a spot where the liner ends that I can't get past. I'm going to pull back out here and I'm going to take this standoff off my camera. And we'll see, hopefully we can get the camera past it without the standoff. I don't think it was down in the flow line, but it is something that could, it will most likely be something that's at least noted and maybe need to be referenced back to the company that installed the liner. If it needs to be, if that spot needs to be cut out. Because based off of where it was, what I could see is it actually kind of looked like it was a spot with where the liner had ended. And I'm trying to clean the lens here. Where the liner had ended, and so where that, and it kind of sucks because now I've got it's harder to keep it clean. So I was able to get past that spot, and we'll inspect it out to the main with that rough spot, because this all looks, I can't really see because of the smudge on the camera here, but we should be able to rinse it off when we get to the main. But that spot did look like it was growing down. Meaning it was fairly large, and I could barely get my camera through, which is about 1 inch in diameter. And so for that to be that size, it's taking up about 3 inches of the line. It's most likely, not obstructing flow, but it is something that, probably shouldn't be there if it was installed. When the liner was installed, that should have been verified. So I'm just trying to push all the way out so I can get in some water and rinse the camera off. Yeah, there we are. We have made it all the way to the main. Just need to rinse it off a little bit here. See us coming back in to the lateral, and there's the tap on the main where it opens up into the larger pipe. And this all looks like clay here. Looks like we're back in the liner. It's probably lined up to the property line. See kind of the lip there.
this all looks really good too. I don't see any standing water, so it looks like the pitch is good. And the liner looks pretty well installed for the majority of this. This all looks really good through here. So, so far I only found one little thing, or I shouldn't say little thing, but one spot where I think the liner could have been that there was a bad spot in the pipe and the liner just went around it. Aha! So here we go. That's what it is. This is actually a buildup of junk, and it looks like that is a cutout. And you really got to watch this because that looks like a clean out cap or something. That was a piece of plastic, and so there's been stuff catching on this. You can see the writing on it. That is a clean out cap. You can actually see the slit in the top of it. That is a surface mounted, it's flat on top. It's meant for like ground clean outs or floor clean outs in the basement. And so it's just got a slit in it. And so what may have happened based off of what it looks like is that somebody was trying to get access to it. And either that thing broke and fell down in there, or they had one that was too small and went to go put it in there and it fell right on through. And so it does look like it's broke on the top left there where it's sitting. So what that is a cap that would normally go on top of a clean out that got dropped down in there. And so I don't know how it got in there, but you can see it was after, it looks like it was maybe after the liner. It's really hard to tell because you can kind of see some weird stuff around it. I mean, I guess it would have to be after the liner, but I don't know how far after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here. I'm going to stop it here. It's not obstructing flow right now because it can't drop down into the flow line, but as you can see on the top, this thing could open and close kind of like a valve. It could rotate. It could rotate kind of closed basically, or it can lay like that in the bottom. And so as long as it's laying flat like that, it's going to stay open, but it very well could cause a backup by, you know, rotating. And you can see all the stuff that's caught on top of it. So at some point it did pick up some other junk that's up high on the line, and if the water level gets high enough, it could mess with it. You might be able to get that out with, you know, some sort of a snake or something and try to break it up, but that would be pretty tough. You might be able to take a jetter and push it through, but I'm just lucky that my camera, that it didn't rotate back on my camera and get stuck. So I'm going to mark this, and then I'm going to obviously recommend that this be removed somehow, either pushed out into the main where it'll go out into an 8 or a 10-inch line and be fine, just flow on down, or it may even have to be dug up and removed. But I think they could get it out with a cleaning. I'm just going to have to locate exactly where it is and the depth so that whoever comes out here to try to get it out can know exactly where it is. Okay, so it is marked with green paint and a green flag. It is 5 foot 9 inches deep to the invert, which is the inside bottom of the pipe. It's just exactly where my camera is sitting. And so the thing is, the line structurally looks great. The liner is done well, and it's been and it looks like it's working. You know, that the line would have had no defects if we didn't find that cap. So really there isn't any defects, it's just there's that cap in the line that needs to be removed. So I am going back upstream. I pulled back to the clean out, and I'm going back upstream so that we can look. I think it was just past about 44 feet there. And that's about where we went in. And then see if I can go all the way back to the end of the line inside that cast iron and just get a look at that and make sure that that's all in good shape inside. There's that little spot of red, and then looks like we are back inside the cast iron, but because I'm pushing upstream, that I've got some stuff on the front of the camera that's not allowing me to see real well. I want to see if it was lined up here or not, and I can't really tell. Yep. Okay, so hopefully we'll be able to see a little better. We're at the end of the road, so we were able to go all the way up into the house to where it went vertical into the stack. And this all looked really good as far as shape is concerned. So we'll slowly go back until we hit about that 44 mark. Coming out right about here. So drop out of the cast iron. There we go. To where it went down to 3-inch, and then this is 4-inch. And then we wanted to stop here again and take a look at this. Right here we're at the clean out, and then I'm going to go back and get a secondary locate just to verify where this is real quick. So I'm going to pause the video one last time. Okay, I did find the clean out, and it does have the original cap on it. Octagon, little octagon knot on the top, so it'd be the original brass cap from from when it was originally put in. So that is not the cap. It wasn't from there. I was a little concerned that maybe that was open. Somebody had knocked it down off of that clean out, and then and then just kind of covered it, and that there might have been still stuff getting in, but it isn't. It's got the original brass cap, like I said, and so it is marked. I did kind of uncover it a little bit. You can just see the little knot on it. It should be a 3.5-inch round opening, and so I did leave it uncovered with a flag right next to it. If you dug out around there just a little bit, you'll be able to see the whole thing where the pipe comes up out of the ground for access. So yeah, it looks really good structurally. The only thing wrong with it, there's no actual, there's no structural defects at all. The line's flowing freely with the exception of at 18 feet downstream. There is that clean out cap that is in the line, and it had to have been dropped down this clean out at some point. And so I am going to mention it to the homeowner also, just to be sure that they know that this is down in there. And so but the line looked really good structurally. It just needs to have that cap either broke up and flushed down the line or removed. Somehow it does have to get out of the line, or it could cause a backup at any time. It's kind of hard to tell when it, if it will flip. It may just flip sideways. All it takes is something large. It can flip that closed like a valve, and then can cause a backup. And so again, line looked great. You just need to get the cap removed. So that'll end the inspection at 5044 Dobbs Drive in Dayton, Ohio.